Glenn, I think that's 2 weeks from two. We breathe a bit of sigh of relief. We leave the athletic ground with just about a bonus point win.
Yeah, I think we've used 2 get-out-of-free jail cards there, haven't we? I mean, it was always going to be tough coming to Richmond. It's a local derby game. And I think, the biggest disappointment for us was they infused us, and the energy by them was a lot more. And I think when we showed it in patches during that game, when we didn't lift the intensity, we could show what we can do. But unfortunately, at the minute, it's just too up and down and too inconsistent. And I think, if we really want to push this year, we've got to get a bit more consistent in our game and know that every week, if we're not quite there in this league, you'll struggle.
Yeah, do you think that's maybe, you spoke about how we're kind of slightly off the boil. I know there's a lot of new players trying to bed in. Was that particularly one of the reasons, do you think? Or is that a bit of an excuse?
I'd probably say it's maybe a little bit of an excuse for us. I think we had a real good pre-season together, had plenty of time to get our learning done. And, we played a team today that's semi-pro and we're full-time. I think that's the more disappointing thing, that they just looked like they wanted it more than us, which is disappointing. I think the good thing for us is that's an easy fix. If we're losing a lot of ball or making skill errors, then that might be a little bit harder. But enthusiasm is an easy thing to fix. But unfortunately, we haven't got too much time to dwell, because next week's Bedford and they're going well at the minute, and it's going to be another huge game. So obviously we'll take 5 points, but a lot to improve.
Yeah, again, that's 2 weeks from two, where we've just slightly edged in front and then just can't quite finish it off, and they come back. Any particular reason for that, do you think?
I think for us, my opinion is probably maybe our mentality. I think we lift it a gear, and then we almost maybe think that that's job done. Switch off, and then you allow them back in the game, and then suddenly you're chasing it again, rather than actually being relentless, being ruthless for the full 80 minutes and seeing the team off and then being out of sight, as opposed to, we'll score 7, they'll score 5, it's all right, we'll be in front. And I think we've just got to flip that mentality, really, and that's down to the players, really. It's nothing to do with the coaches, it's us driving those standards.
Yeah, let's look at some of the positives. Some great tries, kind of flowing rugby out wide, and also up front as well. Some big carries. So a bit of an all-round package with the tries today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got strength and depth across the whole field. I think when we're on it up front, we've got a good mauling game, and we can score from that. And we see when we get close to the line, and our forwards seem to get a little bit energised today, which is great. But then that's got to be for the whole game, not just when we get 10 metres from their line. And then we've got some great balls, some great backs as well that are dangerous out wide if we give them good quality ball on the front foot. But we can't just give them ball and expect them to do something with it. We've got to earn the right to go wide. And at times, again today, we showed that, like you said, that we can do it. We do look dangerous. And then other times we're just doing simple mistakes, simple errors, and I think that's just all down to mindset for us. Again, a little bit of ill discipline kept creeping in, and they just kept coming back. And to be fair to them, I mean, they nearly snatched it at the end. It was we were conceding a few penalties, and they just wouldn't get away from our 22, basically. Yeah, I mean, reminiscent of last week's game, spending sort of 20 minutes of that second half inside our own 22, struggling to get out of there. And I think first half as well, though, we spoke about at half time about our discipline. 2 tries by us first half, but 12 points for them through stupid ill discipline. It just allows them to keep ticking in the game. Then I think sometimes we've just got to back our defence, back our quality, not give any dull penalties away. I think it's the dull ones that kill you. The 50-50 ones, you can take a couple of them on the chin, but I think in the first half we gave away 4 or 5 stupid ones, and I think we cut them out, make it more difficult for the opposition to score rather than gifting them easy points.
For yourself personally, you've captained the side for the last couple of games. Are you enjoying the responsibility?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I'm still doing it in contingent with Brighton, so it's all right. There's 2 of us leading there, and we've got a lot of leaders throughout the group as well. Grayson's quite a big talker, so it's quite good that I can pass the ownership on to them, because I think they're going to get sick of hearing my voice come the end of the season if it's just me talking all the time. But no, it's it's a great opportunity, and when they asked me to do it last week, obviously I was privileged to be asked. But we've got leaders across the board. It's going to take a real big collective effort, not just one person.
Yep. Without getting carried away, that is 2 bonus point wins out of 2. That's 10 points, which is all we can ask for, really. Bedford next weekend, though, a big challenge back at Ballast Way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've recruited really well. And, they've strengthened up front with some quality players, and then they've obviously brought in Lee Dixon at half-back there, who's obviously got wealth of experience to bring that control factor for them. So, they've always been dangerous out wide with their backs, but now I think they're probably going to be the whole package. And they scored 35 points in 40 minutes against Richmond last week here, so we're going to have our work cut out for us. But I think this league's getting tougher and tougher, and as long as we pushing ourselves in training to get better, and then we have the right mindset in the game, we can take anyone on. But as we showed today, the mindset's not right, then it'll be a hard 80 minutes at the office.
Well done today. James, your first game back for a while, and a very narrow win over Richmond. How did it feel to be back out there again?
Yeah, good to get back out there. good to get a try. 8 minutes was a long shift, but we got through it in the end. 5 points is what we wanted.
Yeah, we threatened to pull away a little bit in the second half, but to be fair to Richmond, they kept coming back. How difficult was that out there?
Yeah, no, credit to them. They stuck at it. Sorry, excuse my language. They stuck at it, dug deep. We just weren't as clinical as we probably should have been. So that's definitely something we'll look at next week. Make sure we're playing in the right areas. So no, good to get 5 points, but obviously a lot to work on.
Yeah, I know you weren't out there last week, but it did feel a little bit similar in terms of some of the ill discipline and also just not being quite able to put the game away. Is there any particular reason for that, do you think?
I'm not really sure. I think we'll have a look at it in the week. I think always just got to keep the head straight, keep back on it. We've just got to go through the phases, and then make sure we just play in the right areas. I think we end up playing. So we start playing in our own areas. That's when the discipline comes in, because all of a sudden we just find ourselves not doing what we're used to doing in training. So we'll have a look at it this week and hopefully fix it for next week.
Yeah. In terms of you personally, great to get over for a try in the corner. Some offload from Duratello, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's much credit on my half. I think I just followed off Drew. I think I'll try and do that a lot this season. He's definitely some player.
Yeah.
So he's good.
And in terms of your all-round performance, very solid under the high ball. That's obviously something you work a lot on.
Yeah, no, pride myself on that. Definitely just keep sort of hammering away at that. Sort of try and stay safe, and then boys that were getting around it did pretty well. We were pretty good aerially, but again, just got to play in the right areas of the field.
Yeah, a step up next weekend. We welcome Bedford to Ealing. That'll be a tough one. We'll need to be improved for that one, I think.
Yeah, I think we're looking forward to it. Be a good challenge. Iron out our mistakes from this week, and then hopefully we can get the ball rolling, really start flying.
Well done today.